Hey everyone, welcome back. So today we're here to review GUNPIG for the Nintendo Switch. Now, first things first, GUNPIG was released on December 3rd of 2020, and it's sold right now on the eShop for a regular price of $4.99. Also, as you're watching this video, if you like what you're seeing, please hit that like button, it really does help out a lot, and subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. Basically, GUNPIG is a twin-stick shooter where you play a pig named Bax, who's been hired to basically eliminate a science experiment gone wrong in a scientific facility. Now, how does Bax do this? Well, he gets aboard his spaceship and he powers it up with different food-based weapons to basically eliminate the alien presence. Now, for controls, it's very simple. One joystick controls the ship, the other one aims your weapon, and you fire with the ZR trigger. The only other mechanic is that you can fire off your alternate weapon that basically recharges constantly with either the R or L button. Now overall, GUNPIG is divided into 9 different stages, 2 being bonus stages and 7 basically main stages. You also have a choice between 9 different weapons divided up into 3 different categories. The way the categories work is you have fruit, vegetables, and then nuts. And basically each category of weapon basically automatically selects a corresponding alternate weapon, which I just mentioned earlier. You also have a life bar that's represented by your shields, and as you kill enemies, they will drop cores, which will recharge little by little that shield meter in case you got hit, basically just rewarding you for getting more kills. And the main point of each stage is to basically kill an enemy boss and pick up its core. Once that core has picked up, the stage ends no matter what. And for the 2 bonus stages, well, either it's to pick up all the objects as fast as possible or destroy all the objects on screen also once again as fast as possible. Now, that pretty much sums up the majority of the gameplay you'll go through in GUNPIG. Now, let's start talking about what GUNPIG does really well and the strong points of this game. Now, let's start with the visuals of GUNPIG. The visuals in GUNPIG are extremely appealing to me. I find that the mix of colors, the design on the enemies, and basically the clarity of everything is top-notch in this game. If we're talking about a twin-stick shooter where the stages are vibrant, the enemies are clear, and basically the frame rate just never drops, well, GUNPIG is on that level an excellent twin-stick shooter. Another excellent point GUNPIG has going for it is the variety of enemies in the game. Basically, each stage almost presents you with a new type of enemy, meaning that you'll have to employ different strategies to deal with them. So you always have returning enemies that you've seen in the past stages, and pretty much each and every stage at least adds one new type of enemy, meaning that you have to always be adjusting your tactics to basically get through the stages, taking the least damage possible. Also, to accomplish your kills, GUNPIG is offering an awesome variety of weapons. You basically have 9 different weapons, as I said, split up in 3 different categories. So basically you have 3 fruits, 3 vegetables, and 3 nuts. But even among these 3 different categories, other than the alternate weapon being, like I said, fixed for every one category, basically each weapon feels very different from another. And that's actually really interesting for this game. I think there does need to be a little bit of balancing on those weapons, because some are really more overpowered than others, but when you have 9 different weapons, it's almost impossible to have them all equally equal in strength. And lastly, overall, the controls in the game are excellent. And not only are the controls themselves excellent, but the actual quality of life options you have for adjusting those controls to your gameplay style are awesome. Number 1, you can invert each axis independently. Something not all twin-stick shooters are offering you, and that you can be done in-game on the fly through the pause menu. The second extremely awesome quality of life upgrade this game has is you can auto-lock your shoot button, basically meaning that by pressing once the shoot button, your ship will fire non-stop till you hit the shoot button again to ask it to stop. And for a twin-stick shooter, not having to hold down the shoot button constantly, because in this game, you don't have to hit repeatedly the fire button, you just hold it down to have a continuous stream of fire. Well, it's such a huge quality of life upgrade, especially if you want to do multiple runs of the game. You will really get fed up of just holding down a trigger button pretty much 99% of the time. But other than that, the controls are butter smooth. They are very responsive. They're even, I would say at the beginning, I found them too responsive, but after 1 or 2 stages, you really get the hang of the ship being very twitchy, and basically it works perfectly with the overall gameplay of the game. So I think you can see that GUNPIG actually has quite a bit working for it. However, there are 2 points that we really have to talk about that are working against it. Now, the first point that I would say GUNPIG has going against it is, although the package looks awesome, the difficulty level is a little bit too low. Basically, GUNPIG's difficulty level, I'll tell you right now, I managed to play through my first time all the stages without dying once. And that simply is because some of the weapons are overpowered in the game, and if you sort of fall in love and select the proper weapon, it makes the game a little bit too easy. So I would like to see an adjustment level, and unfortunately there is no difficulty level in the game, so there's no way to actually increment your difficulty if you're finding the game too easy. So I would say that that would need a little bit of work. I'll be honest though, if you select a different weapon, sometimes the game can become very challenging. It's just that overall, with the selection of all the weapons, if you select the proper one for each situation, the game actually becomes, I would say, a little bit too easy. And now we're going to get to what I would say would be GUNPIG's biggest challenge. It's that overall, it's set up in an arcade style. By what I mean by arcade style is that basically the 7 stages and 2 bonus stages, the average playthrough time for most people will be probably around 20 to 25 minutes. That means you basically can finish the game, all stages, in 20 to 25 minutes. There are a few secrets hidden in the different stages that can prolong your gameplay, meaning that if you really want to find all the secrets in one run, basically that run will probably take you more like a half hour to 35 minutes, just because you'll have to search around the stages once you've basically cleared them out to find those secrets. But if you're not looking for the secret areas, well, basically, you're going to blast through the stages in, like I said, 20 to 25 minutes, probably on your first run. Now, there is a method to this choice. It's that basically, GUNPIG, you can't save your progress. Basically, when your run starts, you have to finish it. If you don't, you have to start over. If you do finish the run, your high score is saved, and the point on each run is to basically try to improve on that high score. But unfortunately, it maybe isn't going to match with everyone's gameplay style. A lot of people buy a game to finish it and move on. If that's your point with GUNPIG, you're going to be disappointed because you're going to buy it and half hour later, you're going to be done. However, if you like that arcade game style, where the point is to replay the same game, the same stages, trying to always improve your score, GUNPIG can be a really great game. But I do think it's a point that's going to work against it because it's not going to be everyone's favorite way of playing. And just as a complement to this, I think what could have solved a lot of these issues could have been really simple is that they could have put a gameplay plus mode, like a game plus. Basically, once you finish the main game, a way to replay the same game with a higher difficulty level, either by generating more enemies per stage, giving the enemies more health, making your weapons do less damage. I mean, there's a lot of ways they could have approached this, but I would have really liked to see a gameplay plus mode. And before I move on to the critique, I do want to mention that that is maybe coming, because when you roll through the credits at the end, you get a little cutscene, and then you sort of get a spoiler at the end saying that Bax will return. Now, I don't know if that means that the developer's pointing to the fact that they're developing a GUNPIG 2, or maybe they're just developing basically free downloadable content for GUNPIG 1. I'm really hoping it's the latter. So if ever the developer throws in an extra just 5 or 10 stages for free, that would make this game actually really amazing. And I think that brings us to the scoring on this game. So if this is the first time watching one of my videos, just to let you know, I don't give a numerical score for my games. I give an overall statement, which is basically my recommendation for buying the game or not. And if you want a description of all those statements, they're in the description of the video down below, so you can check them out and see where this game is in the sort of ladder, and basically also maybe get a little bit more information on what each statement means. Now, for GUNPIG, it's actually been my biggest challenge trying to actually give this game a rating. Why? Because the stuff it does well is done so well that I feel I love this game. And look, I've played through it 5 times and I'm still not tired of it, but I like that type of arcade game style. So a part of me wants to give it a much higher score. But overall, when I try to score games, I try to score it for a general public, what I think most people will situate this game as. And because of its overall very, very short length, I'm going to have to give this game a solid game. Basically, if you're a huge fan of twin stick shooters and you like that arcade style, you're probably gonna really love GUNPIG. However, if you're looking for the traditional game where you invest $5 and you have basically 3 to 4 hours of original gameplay, you're gonna be disappointed with the game. Now, I'm telling you right away, if ever the developer does come out with like a free download pack with extra stages, or even, like I said, just a gameplay plus mode, this is a game that could skyrocket all the way almost to a hidden gem on the Nintendo Switch. Just to let you know, that's how good the overall gameplay feeling is on this game, and how close it is to actually jumping up almost 2 whole levels. But overall, the official review it's going to get right now is as a solid game for the reasons I just mentioned earlier. So that's pretty much it for my review of GUNPIG. I hope this has been helpful to all of you. As I said earlier, if you like this video, please drop a like. It really does help a lot. Subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. Oh, and don't forget to activate the notification bell so that you know when all my content comes out. And as usual, I hope I'll see you in my next video.